What's up YouTube? JR Reich here. I'm going to give you a run through of an instrument that I just picked up here a few weeks back. A buddy of mine sold it to me. It is a 1980 Peavey T-40 bass. I had one of these when I was younger, and I had wanted one since to kind of get back to the childhood thing. You know, we want our favorite hot rod or something like that. Well, mine happens to be guitars. So anyway, this is a 1980. These were made in USA, and Peavey was one of the first companies to do CNC machine. Instead of building them by hand, it was easier and quicker to build these CNC machine. They were all exactly alike. They were more consistent, shapes, styles, bodies, and everything. But 100% made in USA back then. Quick run through the specs of these things. They are heavy, 10 to 12 pounds maybe. I have not weighed it, but it's got to be somewhere in there. But metal nut, so you don't have to worry about replacing the nut. It lasts forever. Nice solid machine, tuning machines. Maple neck, super close, easy to play action. The neck is not baseball batty at all. The body is solid mahogany. That's where it gets its weight from. You got two humbucker pickups here, bridge and neck. A massive bridge down here for just cause. But I would imagine that has something to do with sustain. I don't get into specifics a whole lot. If the guitar plays good, sounds good, that's all that's important to me. But anyway, the beauty of this instrument is in the controls. Now, when I was 7, 8 years old, I did not understand the controls. I was just focused on learning how to play. So just turn them up and play. That's what we did. But anyway, I want to give you a quick run through of the controls of this bass. You have a volume and tone, kind of like a Les Paul guitar. You also have a pickup selector, bridge, middle, and neck. But what I mean by middle is both pickups are on. And you can select either one of those three positions. The other switch down here is a phase, in and out of phase switch. You can have it in phase or out of phase. I'll show you what those sounds are. They're very distinctive sounds. But also the tone knobs are half of them from 1 to 5. They're a typical tone knob. Rolls off the high end. From 5 to 10. It rolls in the humbucker sound and rolls off the humbucker sound, which means goes from single coil to humbucker. And you can dial it into a certain amount. It's not like some guitars where you pull a switch and this humbucker push the switch is single coil. You could dial this into your taste of what the sound is you want. So, and we have that on both pickups. So I'll give you a run through of some of the tones here. Turn the volume up here in phase. I'll give you the bridge pickup first. This is all the way up, so therefore it'll be single coil. Nice clean tone, sustain, and the thing will ring forever. But that's the bridge pickup, kind of like the bridge pickup on a jazz bass, if you want to say that. Now you roll the tone knob from 10 back to 5. You dial in that second coil, which becomes a humbucker. Put it to 5 now, it's a humbucker. You kind of hear that tone change when I dial it in. A lot bigger sound, a little fuller sound all the way together. Kind of like the difference between a single coil and a humbucker. That's exactly what it is. Now you go from 5 down to 1. Like I said, that's a standard tone knob. All the way up, back to single coil. Okay, middle position with the tone knobs all the way up is like a jazz bass. You got 2 single coil pickups. That's one of my favorite tones. I like the jazz bass over the P bass. You know, it's a matter of personal taste, but I've always liked the jazz bass sound. there's a nice clean bottom end, there's a nice clean high, and a little bit scooped on the mid-range, which I guess would allow the guitar player to do the work. So it kind of sits out of the way of the guitar player and sounds cleaner. But this is where the phase switch really shines with these two. So you got this sound, hit that phase switch, and now you get a real nasally mid-range kind of just a nasally sound. You would think that's not usable, but it actually is in certain cases. Hey, put the phase back on, you're back to kind of a jazz bass dual single coil sound. Now the cool thing is you can take both tone knobs, put them on 5, and you have dual humbuckers. Big massive tone there, a huge drastic change from single coil to humbucker. Really nice sound all the way around. Let's roll it back. It's a single coil. We'll go into the neck pickup. Neck pickup is, right now it's a single coil. Roll that neck pickup, the tone knob, to number 5. From 10 to 5, now you have a classic EBO Gibson bass sound. You know, no high end, just real full, massive low end. I think Gene Simmons is popular for using EBO bass. I know there's a lot of other guys that do. I think Jack Bruce, Cream, used the EBO bass for a while. Don't quote me on that because I'm no music historian. I've been wrong before and hard to believe, but anyway, back to the bass. Roll this back up to 10, and well, first let's go from 5. And down to 1, you got your typical tone knob. You can kind of get with a pick, you could probably get a Paul McCartney kind of sound using that from the old Beatles and the Hofner bass. And there is a chart out there that tells you where to put the knobs to emulate certain basses. And you can look that up on the internet. It's pretty cool though. Put this back in the middle. I'll give you my tone once again. The sound that I like the best. Now I'm no bass slapper or anything, but you could definitely that in there too. This makes a great studio bass because you can sit there and you can go to do a session with one bass, this one bass, and get any kind of sound that the producer and engineer wants to get. But again, 1980 Peavey T-40 bass. I have the original plastic. Some call the chainsaw hard shell case that comes with it. I have that too, which it's just really cool. And I like the old stuff like that. But anyway, if you like this content, like and subscribe. And we'll see you the next time around. Have a good one.